What if your fear of wealth, your hesitation in investing, and your discomfort with visibility, it was inherited? And what if the tension you feel around expansion began before you were even born? Great awakening, magnificent people. I am Jazmian D. Welcome to the Generational Rhodium. It is the healing and media component of HWPLP. HWPLP stands for Health, Wealth, Prosperity, Love, Peace. We are a movement-driven investment firm committed to building generational wealth through healing, collective economics, real estate, and venture capital. Please take a moment to comment, like, share, and subscribe, because the more that you do that, the more that this magnificent content can reach the people it resonates with the most, like yourself, and we are so grateful for you. Thank you. This episode is part of our newsletter series entitled From Scarcity to Sovereignty, Rewriting That Wealth Story. Now let's get into this magnificence. Let's be honest. Some of us were raised in homes where money was feared, distrusted, avoided, or worshipped from a distance. Maybe you were taught, don't stand up. Money changes people. We can't afford that. That's for them, not for us. And over time, these words, these ideologies that continuously, perpetually come into your mind, they became your identity. Research confirms from a study done in 2016 that trauma markers can pass down through epigenetics. That means through your ancestrally line. It's passed down. And then the American Psychology Association did a stress report in 2022, and it shows that chronic financial stress alters cortisol regulation and long-term decision-making. There's also a study done where it was focused on scarcity narrowing cognition, and it was done in 2013, and it found that the financial stress reduces your mental bandwidth, similar to not getting enough sleep. But here's a deeper truth. It is not just psychologically, it's energetically. Trauma is not only stored in our memory, it's stored in our bodies, in our systems, and in our fields, and everything that makes us who we are. When generations live in a state of survival, that vibration, it imprints generations. Scarcity becomes frequency, and frequency becomes familiar. Let's go a little deeper. As I briefly talked a little bit about epigenetics in the beginning, epigenetics, it tells us that gene expression can change based on the environment and the belief, the power of the mind. Metaphysics tells us that consciousness shapes our experience. Your lineage carries stories. Your bloodline carries memory, but memory is not your destiny. Energy that was once survival can be transmuted into sovereignty. Just because it worked for them does not mean it has to work for us. Fear is an echo. It is not a command. We don't have to stay there. Your ancestors did not stay there so that you had to. They did their best with what they had and what they knew. But you know more. You have more knowledge. You have more things available to you. Know that you don't have to hold it anymore. Expand further to metabolize what you could not do then. You won't be betraying your ancestors. It'll be an evolution. It's actually what they want. Even when you talk to some parents, they always want their children to be better than them. Be better. Not in a judging way, in an evolutionary way. Because when you build wealth with integrity, You do not dishonor your lineage. You heal it. You stop that pattern. You free it. Let me tell you a story. There was a young woman. She was raised in a family where safety meant staying small. She was told, don't take risks, don't draw attention to yourself, and don't step outside of the box. There was a constant cloud of fear over her. She had fear of the banks, fear of loss, fear of standing out, fear of losing, fear of being successful. She learned to shrink. She learned to minimize her brilliance, and she learned to play it safe. But something inside her whispered, her deep intuition was like, hey, I can't take it anymore. We must do it differently. So she was curious. So she started to change some of the things she did. But her curiosity really ran deep with investing. She was drawn to ownership. She was drawn to owning. She felt deep in her spirit that she was limiting herself. So she began to study. Start slow before you run. She learned, she read, and she surrounded herself with others who had a wealth mindset without fear, without what she was taught. A wealth mindset of knowing they deserve it. She partnered this with meditation in the mornings, in the evenings, whatever resonated with her, so she can ground herself. And she began noticing how inherited beliefs that she had, how they felt in her body. They made her tight, feel tight in her chest, shallow in her breathing, and have a sense of avoidance. So what she did, instead of running from them, she stood in it. She sat in it. She said, this will no longer have dominion over me. This is it. I want to feel this feeling because I will never feel this feeling again. And slowly but surely, her nervous system started to expand because it didn't have to be reactive in that. Because it experienced it, it sat in it, and it moved through it. It didn't avoid it. It didn't abandon it. It didn't show fear of it. It moved through it. So this made her feel free. She started investing. She started doing it small because she only had a little bit in the beginning. So she started small, and then she became more intentional in her, in her investments. Some of her family members was like, this one is doing different things. This is so interesting. And she's doing it and she's becoming successful because she didn't look at her family and say, well, I'm doing something, you're not doing nothing, and I don't care about you. She looked at them and said, let me be the example to encourage them to take some of the steps that I took. Let me be the example for me because I need to see it. Still honoring her family, she chose different. And her wealth started to grow. And she shared her knowledge with her family and friends. She created more opportunities for them. She built community structures with them. She invested not just in herself, but in her community. And she felt free, liberated. She did not just build money. She built wholeness. Now let that sit in. Oh my gosh, and let's take a moment to breathe. Breathing exercises are so magnificent because I don't think a lot of us take time to intentionally breathe. So let's start to transmute some of this lineage that we have in this quick breathing exercise, 4 count. 3 times. The last time I'm going to stay silent, just going to cue you on the breaths. The first 2 times I'm going to do affirmations. Now let's get into it. Inhale, I release inherited fear. Hold, I honor my lineage. Exhale, I choose conscious expansion. Hold, I build differently. Round 2, inhale. I release inherited fear. Hold. I honor my lineage. Exhale. I choose conscious expansion. Hold. I build differently. Last time. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. And hold. No, you're expanding. You're not separating from your lineage, from your ancestors, from your previous knowing. You're building on it. Thank you. Now, how do we shift and transmute this energy that our ancestors have passed to us? How do we heal? Healing our ancestral money wounds require us to do certain things. I'm going to give you 3 suggestions. The first one is we need to shift our intention. We must consciously rewrite the story. We must notice when we feel uneasy because some sort of programming is showing up. We have to notice it. We have to name it, identify it, and then we have to shift it, replace that image that we have in our mind about it. Notice it, name it, shift it. Because that is how we reclaim our sovereignty. Second, we have to have community. Community is something our ancestors already had and always had. But we have to dissolve the scarcity that is in alignment with the communities that we have now. We have to dissolve that scarcity connection that we see today. Surround ourselves with people who normalize wealth, healing, loving thyself, loving thy neighbor, without shame, without fear, without being small, standing in that power, standing in that truth, standing in that grace, integrating all this into their true alignment. Number 3 is a sacred economic principle. Wealth is not supposed to be hoarded. It has to circulate. Everything has to circulate. Healing must precede our expansion. We have to invest in us. I don't even know how many times I've said this, but I'm going to say it again. When you get on a plane, the first thing that those flight attendants tell you is put the mask on yourself and then put it on others. Help others. How can you make sure you're okay? How can you make sure others are okay if you're not? Put it on yourself. Heal yourself before you can help anybody else. Your investments must include your community, but you have to be whole, perfect, and complete when you're investing in that community. Money without consciousness, it is repetitive trauma. We have to release that. Money with intention, it forms us. I want to give you some tools that can really, really help you, that you can practice on a daily basis or not. If something really resonates with you, definitely use that. If it doesn't resonate with you, shift it some so that it does. I would say use an ancestral audit. Write down some of the money beliefs or some of the beliefs that have been passed down to you, are inherited to you, and think about it. Does this really resonate with me? Does it really resonate? Money don't grow on trees. Is that true to me? Or we can shift it, because in consciousness, if you change your mindset, you change your environment, you should change your surroundings. You say money does grow on trees, so I'm gonna go outside and pick it so I can have some more. Because it is abundant and it's flowing to me abundantly. Ask yourself, the things that I'm thinking, is it because somebody told me, or is it because I innately believe it? My intuition tells me this is so. Number 2 is a scarcity interpretation. Where fears arise, you must pause. And then you say, this might be something that's not mine. I want to choose something differently. And that's okay. Number 3 is a worthiness practice. You are worthy because you exist. Know that. You are worthy because you exist. Also, you can state to yourself that I am worthy of aligned wealth. When you're using affirmations, sometimes they seem silly in the beginning. Keep saying it till you believe it, because when you believe it, it becomes your truth. Affirm it and allow it to grow. Last is, you need to immerse yourself into an immersive community. A community where you join together, you have circles where you talk about wealth building, you talk about holistic healing, you talk about healing, you talk about being better, you're talking about things that are actually going to progress you and grow you and make you better and wealthier and happier. Those are the kind of communities you need to surround yourself with. Why would you want to be surrounded by people that don't make you feel good, that don't make you happy, that don't motivate you to want to do more, that don't motivate you to want to be more, that don't motivate you to just stand in your truth and be as big as you need to be? Find people who energize you and build with them. You are not here to repeat patterns. You are here to transmute it. Breaking chains does not mean breaking your bonds. It means building bridges that go further, that go longer, that go higher. And you have to have the courage to expand while having the highest form of respect. Because wealth is not just money. It is psychological freedom. It is spiritual wholeness. It is community evolution. And it is decision to build differently. Let's close with the HWPLP affirmation. Heal your mind, body, and soul. Build the wealth that is your birthright. Live in full prosperity, love unconditionally, and be in a state of peace. And so it is, and so I am, and so it be. I want to thank you so much for joining me for this Generational Rhodium. I am Jazmian D with HWPLP, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, peace, love, and light. Thank you. Magnificent people, if this message resonated with you, don't just watch, engage, like, comment, subscribe, and join the community where we're building healing and wealth together. Peace and love.